So good afternoon, everybody. Sorry, we started a little bit late. Had some technical issues, so we had to resolve that. So the course for today is CS 209, and I'm taking tabulation and graphical representation of data. So in statistics is the subject of collecting, organizing, and understanding information. Another word for information is data, to make useful and clear conclusions. Data can be sorted into main types: primary data and secondary data. So for primary data is information that is collected directly for a specific purpose, usually by the person who needs it. While secondary data is information that is taken from an existing source where it was already recorded or stored. So after we collect data, how we present it is very important, because if you have the best data and it's not properly presented, you and I both know it won't make any sense to the observer or whoever is looking at what you are presenting. For example, now, what I'm doing right now is presentation of data. I prepared slides with some little designs, although minimalist in nature, but just imagine if all what I typed there was just all over the place, or, muddled up. You and I both know it will be a mess. So after we collect data, how we present it is very important. A clear presentation helps everyone see and understand the results easily. In this section, we will learn ways to present data using tables and graphs with examples to guide us. So today we're just going to cover like 2 things. Then by the next class, we'll cover another 2 subheadings. I think that will be enough to cover everything that has to do with tabulation and presentation of data. I'm already recording, so you don't have to. I'm already recording. So, yeah, so that's that. Oh, have I said this? After we create, okay, clear presentation helps everyone see and understand results easily. In this section, we'll learn ways to present, okay, using tables and graphs. So now, what is meant by presentation of data? Once data has been collected, it must be presented clearly so that its main features can be seen and understood quickly. To do this, we use a presentation method that is meaningful, organized, and easy to read. In statistics, that data is usually presented in one of 3 ways. Textual method, that's where we use words and sentences. Tabular method, that's where we use tables and rows and columns. And graphical method, that's where we use charts and graphs. Sorry, I need to move this stuff away. It's blocking my view. Okay. So now, presentation of data examples. Presentation of data examples. Now, let us look at how to present data in a meaningful way with the help of some examples. So, example 1, consider the marks given below, which are obtained by 10 students in mathematics: 36, 55, 73, 95, 42, 60, 78, 25, 62, and 75. So find the range of the given data. This one is very simple. All you have to do is arrange the data from the least to the highest, which, as you can see, when you do that, you have 36, 55, 73 up to 75. Then the data, this data is what is called the raw data. So we first, if you're not listening, I'm recording already. Don't need to request to record again. So the data given is called the raw data. So first we arrange data in ascending order from the least to the highest, which is 25, 36, 42, and so on until you get to 95. Therefore, the lowest mark is 25 and the highest mark is 95. So we know that range, to find range is just to subtract the lowest from the highest value in the data set. And when you do that, you will get 70. So note, presentation of data in ascending or descending order can be time consuming if we have a larger number of observations in an experiment. If you notice, we just worked with 10 students. So it's very easy for us to do, especially by hand. It's easy for us to just rank it from the least to the highest or from the highest to the least. But what happens when you are working with a lot of data? It will become tedious if you want to do it that way. So now let us discuss how to present the data if we have a comparatively more number of observations in an experiment. So let's look at the second example. Consider the marks obtained by 30 students in mathematics subjects out of 100 marks. That's the highest number of marks you can get is 100. So we have 10, 20, 36, 92, 95, 40, 50, 56, 60, 70, 92, 88, 80, like that up to 88. So now, in this example, the number of observations is larger than the one we worked with in example 1. So the presentation of data in ascending or descending order is going to be a bit time consuming. You can do it, yes, but it will be time consuming. So hence we can go for the method called ungrouped frequency distribution table or simply frequency distribution table. In this method, we can arrange the data in tabular form in terms of frequency. For example, if 3 students scored 50 marks, the frequency of 50 marks is 3. So let us now construct the frequency distribution table for the given data. So this is the first half. The next half is in the next page. So take note of that. So for the first half, and based on the data we're given, if you look at this data very well, you realize that there's only 110. So since there's only 110, we have just one frequency of 1. Please, so I should tell Ore Oluwa that I'm already recording the lecture, so he doesn't have to keep sending me requests. So now if you look at the data, there's only 120 here also, just like the 10. After this 20, you will not find any other 20 here. So that's why the frequency is what? 1 again. Now let's check for 36. We have 136 here, followed by another 36 after this 40, and another one after this 70. If you check the rest of the data, you will not find any other 36 there. So that's 3. So we can say the frequency of 36 occurring is what? 3. So let's do one more because I believe with this, you've already gotten a hang of how it works. So let's check for 40. We have 140 here after the 95. We have another 40 here after this 36. We have another 40 after this 92. And I think I've missed out 140. Okay, there's another one here. There are actually 240s side by side after the 36. So that's making 440s. And if you look at the table, we have 440s. So if you check for 50s, you see that we have 350s. If you check for 56, you see that we have 256. If you check for 60, we have 60 occurring 4 times. If you check for 70, it occurs 4 times. If you check for 92, it occurs once. 80 occurs once. Let's just check 88 for this other page. We have one here. We have another one here. I think that's the only 88 we have in our data. So as you can see, we have 2 88s. We have 3 92s and 1 95. So if you add the frequency, let's add it. So that will be 1 plus 1, 2, 2 plus 3, 5, 5 plus 4, 9, 9 plus 3, 12, 12 plus 12, 14, 14 plus 4, 18. Sorry, 1 plus 1, 2, 5, 9. 9 plus 3, 12, 14, 14 plus 4, 18, 19, 20, 24, 26, and 30. 26 plus 3 plus 1, that's 30. So the total is 30. So let's go to the next page. So this is the frequency table. Let's go back to the question. From the question, it said we're given this data and we have to put it in. Okay, I didn't complete this question. You're supposed to present this in a frequency table. So take note of that. So after doing that, this is actually the final answer, starting from here and ending here with the total. So let's look at another example. The following example shows the presentation of data for the larger number of observations in an experiment. Okay, the following example shows the presentation of data for a larger number of observations in an experiment. So this is example 3. Consider the marks obtained by 100 students in a mathematics subject out of 100 marks. So as you can see, this is a lot of data. So if you want to manually start, using the first method we used when we were looking for range, this will actually be very, very tedious. So that's where this our ungrouped or grouped frequency table comes in. So solution, we have 100 observations to present the data. In this case, we have more data when compared to example 1 and example 2. So this data can be arranged in tabular form called the grouped frequency table. The last one we did, this one, is what? Ungrouped. So for this one, we use the grouped frequency table. Hence, we group the given data like 20 to 29, 30 to 39, 40 to 49, and so on, up to 90 to 99, as our data is from 23 to 98. So this captures, because 23 is above 20, and 98 is below 99, because 98 is the highest occurring number there. So the grouping of data is called the class interval or classes. And the size of the class is called the class size or class width. In this case, the class size is 10. Because if you check from 20 to 29, that's 10. And in each class, we have a lower class limit and an upper class limit. For example, if the class interval is 30 to 39, the lower class limit is 30 and the upper class limit is 39. So using this example, if we want to look for the lower class limit and upper class limit of 90 to 99, who can tell me the answer? You can unmute and answer the question. Anybody?
The lower class limit is 90, while the upper class limit is 99.
That's correct. So it shows that you guys have been following. So therefore, the least number in the class interval is called the lower class limit, and the greatest limit in the class interval is called the upper class limit. Hence, the presentation of data in the group frequency table is given in the next slide. I just hope this stuff is not blocking this stuff. So I don't know why this hence is showing here, but I don't think it's covering what you need. So now for this case, we have class interval marks and we have frequency number of students. So using that method of lower class and higher class, you realize that the numbers that fall between 20 to 29 are 3. Numbers that fall between 30 and 39 is 14. The numbers that fall between 40 and 49 is 12. The numbers that fall between 50 and 59 is 8. The number that of observation between 60 and 69 is 18. Number that fall between 70 and 79 is 10. Number that fall between 80 and 89 is 23. And number that fall between 90 and 99 is 12. And to show that this is correct, when you add everything together, you get the total number of students, which is 100. So let us look at a practice problem so that it can enable us understand the topic better. So let's look at this practice problem. The height of 50 students in centimeters are given below. Present the data using the group frequency table by taking the class intervals as 160 to 164, 165 to 169, and so on and so forth. So we have 161, 150, like that, up to 159. This is a lot of data, so I don't have to read it one by one. That's the beauty of grouped frequency table. It makes it easier to solve such a problem. So let's now look at the solution. If you look at this question very well, let me, before I jump to the answer. Who can tell me the least number here and the highest number here? Once you get the answer, you can unmute and answer the question. What is the least number you can find here?
150.
150, are you sure?
Yes.
What about the highest number?
173.
170.
Is it?
173.
173. Okay, so let us check if that is correct. So yes, you are both correct. So the smallest height is 150 centimeter and the largest height is 173 centimeter. So since we are to follow 160 to 164, 165 to 169, okay, so who can tell me the difference between this questions interval and this last one that we solved in example 3? What can you notice about the class interval compared to the example 3?
5.
Yeah, you're not wrong, but put it well. Say
One
it.
is 5, while one is 9.
Can another person also try? You are not wrong, but I have not still heard it in the way I want to hear it.
The
Can another
previous
person
question
try?
was in groups of
The
9.
class interval.
This one is
Please,
in
can you
groups
talk
of
one
5.
after the other? Someone was saying the previous question, something.
The previous question is in
Okay.
groups of 9, while this
Okay.
question is in groups of 5.
Okay, so you are referring to the class interval. I wonder why none of you want to mention that. Okay, so this one is 5, while the other one is actually in 10, not in 9. Should I tell you why? 30 to 39. Count it. 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39. That's 10, not 9. So this other one is what? 5, because 160, 161, 162, 163, and 164 is 5. So, Auntie, you are wrong. So correct yourself. It's 10, not 9. So if we follow 160 to 164 and 165 to 169, we need classes for 150 to 154, 155 to 159, and so on, up to 170 to 174, so that we can capture the least, which is 150 centimeter, and capture the highest, which is 173 centimeter, because 150 will fall into 150 to 154, and 173 will fall between 170 and 174. So now let's sort the data and assign to intervals, sorted heights for easier counting. So now, if you notice, because we've sorted everything, it's easier for us to count. It's even very easy. Based on this sorting now, we can see that there are two 150s. There's one 151. There's one, okay. Since we're not even using non-group, we're using group data. So from 150 to 154 is already sorted out. We're using from 150 to 154, yes. We're using 155 to 164, okay. We're using in 5. So 150 to 154 stops here. 155 to 159 stops here. 160 to 164 will stop here. And 165 to 169 will stop here, while 170 to 174 will start and stop here. So let's count. For the first one, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. The next one we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And we also have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And we also have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And last but not the least, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Which has been sorted out here. They've tallied it. So this is 12, this is 9, this is 14, this is 10, and this is 5. And if you add everything, you will get 50. So it shows that the summation shows that it is correct. Total is 50. So the presentation of data in the group frequency table is given in the next slide. So as you can see, from 150 to 154, we have 12. From 155 to 159, we have 9. From 160 to 164, we have 14. And from 165 to 169, we have 10. From 170 to 174, we have 5. And the total will give you 50. So let's look at another question. For this one, this is the final answer, the table. So now, 3 coins are tossed simultaneously and each time the number of heads. 3 coins are tossed simultaneously, and each time the number of heads occurring is noted and it is given below. Present the data using the frequency distribution table. So we have 0, 1, 2, 2, and so on up to 0. So once you list it out, we have this. So now we count frequency for each number of heads. For the zeros, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which is 6 times. For 1, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think there's a mistake here. This is also 10, not 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Wait, so let me go back to the question so that I don't make a mistake. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so this is actually 10, not 12. So please take note. Then for the twos, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And for the threes, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's 5. Oh, okay. Sorry. This must have come when I was typing. So it's correct here, 10. So 6 plus 10 is 16. 16 plus 9 is 25. And 25 plus 5 is 30. So if you actually count the number of terms you have here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. So that's correct, 30. So now the presentation of data in group frequency table is given in the next slide. So our 0 is 6, our 1 is 10, the 2 is 9, and the 3 is 5. So our total is 30. And that's our final answer. So now let's move on to tabular presentation of data. So what is tabular presentation of data? It is a table that helps to present even a large amount of data in an engaging, easy to read and coordinated manner. The data is arranged in rows and columns, and this is one of the most popularly used forms of presentation of data, as data tables are simple to prepare and read. The most significant benefit of tabulation is that it coordinates data for additional statistical treatment and decision making. The analysis used in tabulation is of 4 types. They are 1, qualitative, quantitative, temporal, and spatial. So let's look at each one. Qualitative classification, when classification is done according to the traits, such as physical status, nationality, social status, etc., it is known as qualitative classification. Now, for quantitative classification, in this, the data is classified on the basis of features that are quantitative in nature. In other words, these features can be estimated quantitatively. 3, temporal classification. In this classification, time becomes the categorizing variable and data are classified according to time. Time may be in years, months, weeks, days, hours, etc. Now, spatial classification. When the categorization is done on the basis of location, it is known as spatial classification. The place may be a country, state, district, block, village, town, etc. Okay, I think I repeated this. So now, basics of tabular presentation. So now, concept of tabulation. Under tabulation, that is tabular presentation of data, is a method of presentation of data. It is a systemic and logical arrangement of data in the form of rows and columns with respect to the characteristics of data. It is an orderly arrangement which is compact and self-explanatory. Its objective is to present the data in a simple form and it saves space. Facilitates comparison. Please everybody mute your mic so that there will be reverberation sound. It facilitates statistical analysis and reduces the chances of error. So let's look at an example, an illustration of a blank table to present. So let's look at this table. What is the title of this table? Faculty / stream-wise distribution of students of senior secondary classes in an institution. So the table has a number. We have our faculty. In this case, we have science, we have commerce, we have arts. So we can easily write out the distribution of students and have the total. For example, you can add male, you can add female here. So in this case, if you have 2 people from science and 3 people from, 2 males from science and 3 females from science, the total will be 5 on this side. If you have 3 commerce students and 3 male commerce students and 2, let me see if I can I write? Let me see if I can write. This is what I've been looking for. So let's say we have 2 science male students and 3 female students. So the total on this side will be 5. So let's say we have 3 commerce students and 3 male students and 2 female students. This is also 5. So let's say we now have 10 male students in arts and 4 female students. So that will be 14. So let's now do the total based on each section. So we have 2 plus 3 plus 10, that's 15 males in the whole school. Then 3 plus 2, which is 5, plus 4, this is 9. So we have 9 females in total in the whole school. So 15 plus 9 is what? 24. So in total, we have 24. So for source, the source can be, I don't know, source or whatever. Then footnotes be additional information. For example, you can say that this male and female are measured in thousands or in hundreds. You can also signify that people that were sick, that were not available during the census, were not captured in this data. So this is actually a very robust table because it gives room for so many information to be captured. I think I need to clean this annotation I did. How do I do that? Eraser. Rectangle. Sorry, I'm coming. See how I can take out stuff I did. Okay, so I don't know how to take away this rectangle, so we just have to continue. So as you can see, what I did, they've done a version of it here also, so no need to repeat the same explanation. Can move on from this. So now let's look at this. If you notice now, they didn't put any information, they just showed like a breakdown. So now, table number, like they are just showing like the qualities of a good table. So we have a table number, we have a slot for that, we have a title, we have head note, if any, we have a caption or column heading, whichever you prefer. You have a subheading. Examples of subheading that we used before were like, male and female. So who can tell me a column head that can come up for a male subheading? Try.
Young and old.
Okay, I like that. Another person.
Tall and short.
Male and female.
Short. No. You can't use male and female again.
Department.
Wait now, you can't use male and female because this subhead is male, the second one is female. So under the male, we now have column head like 2. So the person that said young and old, perfect. The person that said tall and short, that's wonderful. So I need one more.
Black and white.
Fair and animal and humans.
Black
Sorry?
and white. Black and white.
Black and white. I would prefer a Nigerian setting, unless if you are classifying.
Foreign and citizen.
And dark.
Okay, fair and dark. Okay. Somebody say animal and humans. You can't use animal and humans for male now. Are you trying to say that there are some people that
Foreign
sorry? Foreign
Fat
and
and slim.
fat and slim.
Fat
Okay.
and slim.
Okay, gender. Okay, that's nice. Another person said foreign and so I didn't get that part.
Able
Foreign
and
and
shape.
citizen.
Foreign and what? Speak louder and let me hear what.
Able and
Okay. Nationality, right? Like a foreigner and like a
Citizen.
Nigerian and let's say Ghanaian or something like a foreign. Okay. The
How
nationality.
about the
Another
department
person.
or the
Sorry.
their level, like year 1 and year 2, like their department?
Okay, that also makes sense. So that,
Like
but
year 1
I
and
said
year 2.
just 2 columns. So for example, now if this was that secondary school, 2 columns will not capture all the levels, unless if you make it JSS, SSS. So yeah, that's also correct level. We can put junior secondary and senior secondary. Okay, one more before we move on. Another person, can you try? Okay, like you guys have exhausted on that. So who can tell me?
Able and disabled.
Okay, able and disabled. Okay. So now who can tell me what can be on this other side under stub entries? Stub entries / row entries. I just need 5 and we'll move on. Hello, can you guys hear me?
Can it be like me?
Sir, please, can you like go to
I can't hear you. Can you like what?
can you like explain the stub entry so we can
So I think it depends on what is written in the row and the column head. That will determine what we want to put here. So we have to know what is there first.
And that's why I'm telling you to come up with something now, because for example, now we've worked with, let's say, male and female for the subhead. Then under column head now, let's say we're using fat and slim. So just tell me one stub entry. Stub entry can refer to a short incomplete article on a website, or the label on check on receipt for record keeping, or the leftmost column in a table. So leftmost column on a table is also a stub entry, which is what I think relates with what we are discussing currently. Oh yeah, I need like 5.
So I just want to, I don't know, like numbers, like voucher number,
Numbers,
like
correct. The problem is that sometimes people think of something very technical. Numbers is a stub entry now, because that's just the leftmost column of the table. Another person.
What do you have like +1, +2, +3, +4?
I don't think that is bad also. So any other person before we move on? Because your exam, I can tell you to fill in stop entry. So
Yeah.
to see different. Sorry,
So
somebody.
please come again. I don't understand.
Yeah.
Are you a DJ? Which one is yeah that I say? Say something.
No,
Now.
like year. Like
Oh
year.
yeah,
Like month.
sorry. I thought you were saying yeah, like YEAH.
Yeah.
So I was wondering. Okay, so you guys have done well. So who can give us a title for this our table based on what we have been working on since?
Student info.
Another person?
Workers department.
No, now I say based on the info we have worked with so far now, it can't be workers now.
Attendance.
No.
Somebody else should try.
Student database or
Another
student
person.
data.
We have almost 200 people here. Oh. If you don't get this answer, I will not be happy.
Registration.
Sorry? Is that registry or what did I hear now?
She said registration.
Another person should try you.
Identification.
Maybe you guys don't understand my question. Let me see if I can rephrase the question. Based on the details we have given to this table, who can come up with a befitting title for this tabular
So maybe
grouping?
student population in school.
Another person try.
Students classification.
People are not being. There's this word I'm looking for that is not coming.
Variability.
Another person, oh, you have not still gotten it.
Table.
Candidate details.
Students information.
It's like
Student
I
data.
have an idea
I
of
said that
what
before.
to say.
Student info. I said student info.
I even have an idea of question.
Candidate
I will
details.
not type with the answer. I will not tell the answer. So go back and.
Variances. Student data.
It's not any variance. You don't like moment generating function. So
Student
let's.
statistics.
Sorry, you said?
Class info.
Student statistics.
Class info.
Students are eating. Abi, what did you say? What did she say? Students are
Class
victims.
info.
Abi, what? What? She should repeat what she said now.
Students identification mode.
Okay.
Student statistics.
I can't hear you. I'm sorry. Children are victims is what I'm hearing, and I know that cannot be. Okay, let's move on. You didn't get it, so you need to go back and think about that. So now,
She said student statistics.
Student statistics. But there is some. If there is something I will say, you will get it, and I want you to come up with the answer yourself. So
Biodata.
Is it anatomy?
Pardon?
Anatomy, bio.
You people are not. You know when before you're even coming close. Now you have just left the building.
Student biodata.
Find another way to say this thing you're saying. You are not wrong, but give me a better title.
Student information.
You people
Matriculation number.
Let's move on. So I don't spend all the time. So,
Student biodata.
I say people have tried. Let's move on. So objectives.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, please, what's the answer?
I will not tell you in this class. Maybe in the next class.
Students' personal information.
Student information.
No matter how you repeat that student, that is info why you're not getting the answer.
Identification mode.
I will soon mute all of you. Please, let's move on. Thank you. Can we move on?
Yes, sir.
So now objectives of tabulation. The following are the objectives of tabulation. 1, to simplify the complex data. 2, to bring out essential features of the data. 3, to facilitate comparison. 4, to facilitate statistical analysis. 5, saving of space. Who can come up with 6? Anyone? Let me rephrase my question. So if you want to use a table,
Similarity.
wait now, allow me land first now. So if you want to tabulate data, why would you want to do it? What will inform that your decision? We are answer.
To make it easy to compute.
The type of
To
details
make
that
it easy to
the
compute.
context
Okay. Another person, that person
To
you
make
tried.
data simple.
Easy to read and understand.
Easy to read and understand. Okay, another person. Yeah, sure, not just.
Identification. To make
Yes,
identification easy.
Please help me identify that lady. You said what?
To make
make
identification easy.
Okay, another person. One last person, then we move on. It's like it's the same person that
For
will
easier decision making.
Representation
To
of data.
facilitate
For
data
easier
say
between
something
comparison.
now
data
concerning
sets.
decision. Please, can that person
For the
continue,
limit.
please?
To facilitate comparison of data between different data sets.
Okay, just like comparative analysis. Somebody said something about decision. Where is that person?
Efficient
Yeah, to
presentation of
facilitate
data.
decision making.
Okay, that's also very good because it's easy. It also helps with presentation of data. For example, I was watching a series yesterday, and sorry for if you hate spoilers, maybe you cover your ear. Okay, I won't mention the name of the series, so you will not know which series I'm talking about. So
I mentioned it.
no, so that the person that has not watched it, I won't spoil it for the person. So there was this scientist that they took to a court, like there was a court case. So even though he didn't draw or write, he found a way to use like cards, like large rectangular cards, to arrange the information he was passing across. So on one side, he had like a board that was like a column. It had spaces like columns and rows for you to put the cards. So he used those cards, the red cards, the blue cards, and he showed like the relationship between the two. So he will put one card, speak to it, put another card beside it or below it or adjacent. So my point is when you tabulate data in whatever form, it makes it easy for you to convey your message across. So are we good to move on?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So now, what are the 3 limitations of a table? Before I come here, let me ask. Can you tell me one limitation before we go to the answer?
Inability to manage space.
Inability to manage space. Okay, another person. Please don't use AI. If you see me asking a question, use your head though. If you're using AI,
Yes, sir, we are using our
it defeats the whole purpose though, because with AI
am
it's very easy to just get the answer. So
It requires AI proficiency.
it what? I didn't get that. Is that? It requires a what? Is the person shy? Say what you said now. You know, in a class, there's really no wrong answer. You know, you make attempts. It's better you are wrong in class and you're writing exam than for it to be right in class.
inability to manage space due to bulk information.
Okay, I think someone has already mentioned something along those lines. Another person should try and make an attempt. Okay, let's move on. So now, what are the 3 limitations of a table? The following are the major limitations of a table. 1, lacks description. So some tables actually don't have, they might do their best to describe what they are presenting, but there are some that might not do that. And once that happens, there will always be teething problems. So the table represents only figures and not attributes. It ignores the qualitative aspect of the facts. Obviously, this is not always the case, but sometimes that is the case. So what else? It's incapable of presenting individual items. It presents aggregate data, and it needs special knowledge. The understanding of the table requires special knowledge, cannot be easily used by a layman. Like I said, not all tables are subject to this, but for some tables that have issues, these are some of the issues that they face. So now, what are the main parts of a table? The following are the main parts of a table. 1, table number. Table number is very first item mentioned on top of each table for easy identification and further reference. 2, title. Title of the table is second item that is shown just above the table and narrates the contents of the table. Hence, it has to be very clear, brief, and carefully worded. If you notice, when I asked you that question earlier about naming that table, I kept on saying no, because I had not heard something that does justice to this write-up they just said now on that title. Now, for head note, it is the third item just above the table and is shown after the title. It gives information about units of data like amount in rupees or naira or dollar or whatever, and quantity in tons and so on and so forth, etc. And it is generally given in brackets. 4, captions or column headings. At the top of each column in a table, a column designation / head is given to explain the figures of the column, and this column heading is known as caption. So, stubs or row headings. The title of the horizontal row is known as stubs, and the body of the table. It contains the numeric information and reveals the whole story of investigated facts. Columns are read vertically from top to bottom, and rows are read horizontally from left to right. 7, source notes. Source note. It is a brief statement or phrase indicating the source of data presented in the table. And last but not the least, footnotes. It explains the specific feature of the table which is not self-explanatory and has not been explained earlier. For example, points of exception, if any. Now, I didn't even know about this before I gave that example I gave earlier. If you remember, when we talk about male and female in the earliest table, when I used that annotation tool to write on the screen, after we wrote some numbers, if you remember, I told you on that footnote, we can mention that some people that were sick and were not present during the census were not captured. I don't know if you remember when I said that. So if you notice, looking at these points now for footnotes, they said, for example, points of exception, if any. So in the case of that example I gave earlier, the exception was what? The people that were sick because they were not around for the head count. So that's why they were not captured in that data. So we have come to the end of this class. Sorry, we started late. And somebody raised your hand. Joseph, what do you have for us?
Sorry, sir, I want to ask, is the exam going to be CBT or theory?
You will find out at the appointed time. That is beyond the purview of this class. Any other questions?
Sir, please, can we get the slides?
Okay, so tell your governors to get in touch with me concerning that. Any other person?
All right, thank you, sir.
And also the recorded class.
Yeah, so I will be uploading the video to my YouTube channel, so you can get the link from your governor.